We're going to break down your questions surrounding the New England Patriots on today's Mailbag episode. Look, now that we've got our guy in Mike Vrabel, there are a plethora of questions to be answered. Who's his right-hand man? Who's his DC? Would DeMarcus Covington stay? What is our roster going to look like this next upcoming year with $130 million in cap space, a top 5 NFL draft pick, and possible free agents pending? Let's go on ahead and jump into the first question on today's show, coming in from Felix. Who would you like to see the Patriots trade for, frying the offseason while being realistic? I think that Jeffrey Simmons would be a huge upgrade for the Patriots defense this last offseason. Jeffrey Simmons only has played for Tennessee in his tenure, and knowing that he played his first 5 seasons in the NFL under Mike Vrabel, and he's already possibly hinted on Twitter/X that he would be open to being traded away from Tennessee and playing again for a Mike Vrabel. But I do like Mike bringing in former players, whether it's from Tennessee or this last year with the Browns when he did work in the front office. When you get a guy like Jeffrey Simmons, he is obviously one of the top defensive tackles in the NFL. He's actually the 6th highest paid D tackle in the NFL right now. He had a very good season, but we know with the Titans now having the first pick in the NFL draft, there wasn't a lot of success out there. So maybe he's looking for something different. I think that's a very realistic option for Mike Vrabel to cook up in this offseason, but I also do really like an A.J. Brown reunion, but I don't think that's coming this year, to be quite frank. Next question coming in from Cody Wesley Ali. Patriots, who's your pick for offensive coordinator? I am going to go with Josh McDaniels. I did think that Ben Johnson would be a really good head coaching opportunity for New England, but now that Mike Vrabel's been hired, I realized it's the safer option. And that's what I think Josh McDaniels is. I think he's the safer option for the Patriots right now. He knows this franchise. He has had success in this franchise. And knowing that in his experience in New England, he was the quarterback's coach and OC. So I think that will pair very well with a guy like Drake May, when a lot of people were very concerned about taking AVP away from the new, fresh rookie in Drake May, that maybe it could really hurt his chances of being a great NFL quarterback. I don't think that's going to be the opportunity here. I think Josh McDaniels is the safe choice. If I wanted to go with the spicier choice that I do think would really improve the Patriots right now, it would be Josh McCowin from the Vikings. But more on that later. Another question coming in here from CW. Number 1, I love your profile picture. I have 2 cats of my own. Cat lady here, so I do love that profile picture. Very cute cat. Patriots, how many seasons until playoffs? I can be the unrealistic Patriots fan and say it'll be in 2025. And I can say that, and I can run with it and do whatever. I do think it'll be 2 seasons before we do see the playoffs again, minimum. And the reason why is because Mike Vrabel in his press conference did say he's going to bring success back to New England. But there are going to be growing pains. Whether you were hiring a first-year head coach in Gerard Mayo or you hired Vrabel last year, there were bound to be growing pains in a new system. Now, you can hope it can be a Sean McVay and Mike McDaniels-esque type of first year and take their team back to the playoffs, but I would say minimum 2 seasons, start to filter in more players, get old players out, and let Vrabel do his thing. I do not think playoffs are going to be in the future this season. If they are, absolutely on board with it, but I will see growth this year nonetheless. And I have a question for you guys here. Do you want the Patriots to make the 2025 playoffs? Go on ahead and like this video for me. If I see 500 people getting likes on this video, then maybe I'll reconsider and start to dig a little deeper about what Vrabel can do to take New England to the postseason. But let me go ahead and tell you guys real quick about our sponsor on today's show, and that is Game Time. If you guys are looking to get tickets to a sporting event near you, go on ahead and download Game Time. But it's not just sporting events, it's comedy, concerts, the theater even. Pretty much anything that requires ticket upon entry. The number one reason why I use Game Time is because I know I'm going to get the lowest price guaranteed. And I'm also going to get all-in pricing. So no surprise fees at checkout. There's nothing I hate more than I know I'm going to spend this amount of money. I hit that checkout cart button, And turns out I'm spending $75 on something I have no idea where my money's going to. Another feature that's super helpful is the fact that you guys can see the view from your seat in the app before you buy. You get a nice little 180 panoramic view to make sure you're not sitting behind a pole. Make sure you're not too close to the men's restroom. So if you guys want to go on ahead and get started with Game Time, well, we are going to hook you up. Download the Game Time app. Use promo code CHATSPORTS. This will give you guys $20 off your first time buying tickets while terms apply. Again, download the Game Time app. Use promo code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It is game time. Steven coming in. Why is no one mentoring Ted McMillan for the first pick when there isn't any great offensive tackles in the draft? You, sir, must be new to my channel because I have been doing nothing but saying we need to draft Teteroa McMillan for Drake May. I'm going to sound like every other analyst out there when I say this, but you cannot teach 6'5". Teteroa McMillan is a large top target for Drake May, who tends to be a bit inconsistent. And what I really like of Teteroa McMillan is that not only does he have that height, but he knows how to climb the ladder. He doesn't need to create separation on the ground when he can do it in the air. You're getting a 1,300 yards in a season from Teteroa, which is well beyond what any Patriot receiver could even dream of doing this last year. And I do agree. I do like Will Campbell. I also like Kelvin Banks Jr. This isn't the most stacked offensive line draft we've seen in the last couple of years. I truly do think that offensive tackle and offensive line should be third and fourth for the Patriots. I like Teteroa McMillan or Abdul Carter the best. And I do think Teteroa would be a really good option for a strong wideout for Drake May. You would make up for drafting the bust Jalen Polk. And if you go out and get a guy that can work in the slot like a Chris Godwin, look at that. Your wide receiver core has just upgraded by 1,000. Another question coming here from Junior Estrada. Should the Patriots draft a tight end in the NFL? No. God, no. Robert Kraft, you're watching? No. Stay away. Not unless it is day 3, round 7, best available, and you just have to take one. You've got Hunter Henry, who has been your top 2 receiver, top 2 pass catcher in New England for the last 2 years. You also picked up Austin Hooper, who is proving to be an even better blocker than he is a catcher, which is incredible considering he had a very good completion percentage. The tight end position, good, solidified. In fact, if you're playing fantasy next season, I highly recommend taking Austin Hooper or Hunter Henry. Do not touch the tight ends in the draft. I think we have plenty of other positions that need work before we touch the tight ends. Robert Kraft. George Widmer coming in here. We're trading our first round pick for anyone in free agency. Opinion? Tee Higgins. Tee Higgins, absolutely. If Cincinnati really was trying to bargain with T and said, hey, we really want you to come back, I mean, if anything, you are giving up your first round pick for a guy like Tee Higgins. But the beauty of it is that Tee Higgins is a free agent, so you don't have to trade up anything. You can just sign him. You can just offer him the best deal. If you're trading away that first round pick for a guy that is currently on a team, then I would probably go with a guy like an A.J. Brown that already has a connection with Mike Vrabel and Philadelphia, especially because they did go out and get other guys. They're spending a lot of money. Maybe they could really benefit from a draft capital, but I think that there's enough talent in free agency that you don't need to trade away the first pick in the draft. I think you would benefit from a Teteroa or an Abdul Carter, and at most, a Will Campbell. So if you guys haven't already, go on ahead and like this video if you are excited for next season. Oh, I feel like I have life back in my eyes. This last couple of months was tough for New England Patriots fans, but now having Mike Vrabel in the front seat, I'm very excited for what he's going to bring to New England. Go on ahead, hit that like button for me if you guys haven't already. As always, please subscribe to Patriots Today by Chat Sports for the latest news and rumors surrounding your team for free.